Hey, welcome to This Is Us. This is an opportunity where we get to, every single week, highlight a few things that are happening in the life of our church. You see, church is not defined by a Sunday online service. Church, in essence, is the gathering of God's people. In these segments, each and every week, we'll be highlighting a few aspects of our community, things that we really value as a church, and letting you know how you can get involved and play your part in making a difference in your world.
Okay? We don't decide the place where we're born or the family we belong to. Many of the circumstances that end up defining our lives are outside of our control. Some of those circumstances will bring comfort and opportunity, but others create obstacles and even hardships. Like we're going to see with Sophie, it can be easy to look at someone's success from afar and not know the highs and lows and hard work that got them there.
I've always dreamt of being a performer, but I never really thought that was possible for someone like me.
My name is Sophie Jennifer. I'm 17 years old.
To be honest, my view and my hope was quite low. I didn't know where I'd end up, but I was just hoping that I wouldn't be somewhere where some of my friends have ended up right now. Growing up, the 17 years I've been here, we've had to tackle a lot of stuff like gang violence, hate crime, the list goes on. My financial status, my background, I felt like that withheld me from my dreams. I first heard about AMP at Sunday service at the Dominion. My dad's friend invited us to church and we kept on coming. And one Sunday, it was Mother's Day, and the AMP kids held a performance. Seeing those kids perform on that stage made me feel like I wanted to be up there with them. I decided to take a leaflet and signed up when I got home. Being a part of AMP has changed my life completely. I've never really had any opportunities like I have in AMP. I went from practically being a beginner to being in the advanced class. The people I grew up with, if they had been given the same opportunity that I'd been given, their paths would have changed the same way mine has. Because I've been at AMP for so long and they've helped me build my character and realise my potential, I don't really see any limit in what my future holds. I now know and take ownership of the fact that I can be what I want to be.
So Sophie's story really just best communicates why AMP exists. And I guess AMP represents two groups of people. There's those who would like to be involved in the performing arts just because it's fun and because of the impact it might have on other areas of their life. And then there's those who have a particular skill and talent that they really would like to see developed. And we also cater for that. But I guess what's unique about AMP and for both those groups of people is that you can be involved in AMP irrespective of your background.
Yeah, in COVID, everything kind of went into lockdown, but AMP kept going. We moved online, we moved into Zooms. We even produced a showcase, which is online right now. And now we're excited to get back into real life for the next term of AMP. One of the most exciting features we have this term with AMP is that the collective, which is kind of the highly skilled, really promising young people, we're going to be moving into Talyard Studios, one of the most famous studios in London for writing sessions, music development. So we're really started to really kick off AMP 2020.
If you'd like to get involved in AMP, then just head to the website for more information. So whether you're a singer, a dancer, an actor, at any level, like we say, we cater for those who just want to do it for fun, and then for those who maybe have a real desire or dream to pursue this as a profession.
God has known us from the beginning, wherever we started and however we got there. Jesus wants to meet us where we're at, bring healing, and help us step into our purpose. He'll even use the difficulties we've experienced to help build character and strength, enabling us to help others on that very same journey of faith. For Amy, in that very ordinary space, Jesus found a way and made something quite extraordinary take place.
I'm Amy. I've been going to church now since April 2018 on Easter Sunday. Growing up, my family came from more of a Catholic background, but we never really went to church. My knowledge of God was basically non-existent. And we were taught to, that God was real, and I kind of grew up with that, but I never knew anything about him. When I was in sixth form, I met a girl who was a Christian, and at the time I was going through some quite bad anxiety and panic attacks, and she would always really help me, and she started talking to me about Jesus. It really started to bring up questions in my mind that made me want to find out the answers to. And then I came across some of the music from Hillsong Worship. It kind of started to help me see more of who God was and his character. I came across Hillsong were doing an Easter Sunday service at the New Theatre, and it was on my 21st birthday, and I decided to go along. Walking into church was completely different to church that I'd experienced when I was younger, and everyone was so friendly, so kind, so welcoming. I remember during praise and worship just kind of standing there looking around, completely in awe of what was going on around me. Hearing Brian speak about Jesus and who he is and what he's done, I just had this complete revelation of who God was, and that you can have a personal relationship with him, and my heart was just completely opened to Jesus at that moment, and I just felt this release and kind of felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. And from that day, I'd never had any other issues with anxiety or any other panic attacks ever again, and God completely healed me. Knowing who Jesus is and knowing what he's done, it just makes all the difference, because I know who I'm praying to, I know what he's done for us, what he's capable of doing, and it just completely changed the picture for me of who God is. My life is completely different. Just being surrounded by so many incredible people. I just love that Jesus is always there. Regardless of whether you feel it or not, just knowing that he's always there. He'll never leave, and it doesn't matter what you're going through. He's got a plan and he's got a purpose. It just changes everything.
Well, I hope you are inspired and challenged by those two stories today, compelled to know about the difference in what God can do in your life, but know that you can make a difference in other people's lives too. One thing I want to highlight from Amy's story is the power of community. In this season for me, has placed extra importance on the power and strength of who I do life with. Groups is a great place to not only find community, but it's helped me and many others grow in their understanding and knowledge of Jesus, build one another up in faith. Discipleship is another way to call it. If you're not part of a group and would like to know more, or simply if you want to know how to get involved in the Performing Arts Academy, there are people in the chat box right now if you're watching live on YouTube. Alternatively, you can go to the website and find the location nearest to you. Or finally, just simply write us an email, hello@hillsong.co.uk. Thanks for watching, take care, and have a fantastic week.